Walsh Bay is part of the immediate area where the first fleet landed in Sydney in 1788. Due to its rocky shore, there was little development until 1820. With further population growth and its location on Port Jackson, it was a thriving port by the late 1800s. In 1900, the bubonic plague infected the area, and as part of the cleansing to rid the colony of the disease, the walls were burnt to the ground. The Walsh Bay Wharves precinct, as we see it today, was largely developed by the Sydney Harbour Trust in 1910 and named after Engineer-in-Chief Henry Dean Walsh. The Finger Wharves became Sydney's major port and stevedoring facility, equipped with the latest machinery and technology. But with larger boats, increased traffic on the harbour and cost, these facilities were moved to Botany Bay in the 1970s. The wharves fell into disuse. In the 1980s, life returned with the development of Pier 1 and the Sydney Theatre and Dance Company leasing Wharves 4-5. But the real change occurred in the early 2000s, when a carefully considered master plan of the area was implemented. The wharves and shore sheds were restored, added to or rebuilt to include new residential apartments, theatres, restaurants, cafes, office space and public open spaces. Uniquely placed amongst some of Sydney's richest history, it was adapted into a bustling art and cultural precinct.
The new design of Walsh Bay brings great social vitality and interactions to local areas by integrating with cultural and historical significance in the past eras. The designers have strong understanding of the original structures to keep the new settings alongside the old forms naturally. To improve the complexity of social life, the new purposes of structures created lots of activities. There is residential living, cultural recreation, restaurant, dance center, hotel, and even a theater of young people. Persons who are exercising, sitting in the open space, and talking to others make the place full of leisure time scenario. Finally, the new Walsh Bay successfully injected the new life and interest into the original place, and became an iconic place of the harbour in central Sydney.
According to the State Heritage Register of New South Wales, one of the criteria regarding its significance was one of aesthetics. The new design, despite being new, has interconnected with the old setting with the adaptive reuse of artefacts and building facades, allowing for the continual reflection of the wharf's former maritime history. Another criteria point regarding the cultural significance of the structures is the social significance, stating that the precinct demonstrates the life of inner Sydney in the early 20th century. The new design, along with its accessibility, has allowed for a revival of that life into the area, whether it is reflected in the joggers who make use of the wharves, the workers on their lunch breaks, or those associated with the arts. The Walsh Bay Wharves have remained significant to the people of Sydney. The newer design has quite literally placed life back into the old setting, enhancing what would have been a dormant history. Reviving the old wharves and piers through the successful incorporation of the old fabric with the new has allowed for a continual cultural significance to be placed on the site. Due to the positive aspects of the reuse of an older building, the conservation and constant maintenance implemented on the first couple of wharves has allowed for an almost mirror image of what once was.